Hello, my name is Royce Kennebrew, and I am officially announcing my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for Michigan's 12th Congressional District. Here's why I'm running. I'm running because I love people. I love my country and I love my community. And at a time like this, when America is being torn in two, where people are so polarized, I had to act. Malcolm X said that education is the passport to the future, and I believe that. I graduated from the University of Iowa, but I have to admit in the beginning, I had struggles. After 3 semesters of low academic performance, I flunked out. I was asked to leave, and I had to come back home to Detroit and work for a year. I remember riding the Congressional bus downtown with people who were black and white, male and female, poor and low wealth, working class people. And I remember looking into their eyes. There's a quote that says that the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I remember being impacted by the fact that it looked like that so many of the people that I was on the bus with seemed like they had no hope. And on that day, I committed myself to finding out what could do that to a person. And if I can do something to help, that I wanted to help. Another reason why I'm running is because of family concerns. My mother has suffered from mental illness since I was young, middle school age. And I've seen what that can do to a person and the impact that that can have on a family. So those two issues from my past are what guide the work that I do right now. I'm an educator, I'm an author, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been a classroom teacher, an assistant principal, dean of students, athletic director, a coach. I currently do programs for students, staff, and parents. I do diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility work for federal agencies, making sure that people of color, that women, that the LGBTQIA community are properly served and get their rights inside of federal agencies. So because of those two things, that's why I'm a Democrat's Democrat. I believe in building the middle class from the bottom up and the middle out. I believe that you should not disparage a person because their gender identification and their sexual orientation in a country that is concerned with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe that climate change is real and is an existential threat to the human race. I believe that labor unions are just as important as ever and that they should be supported at all costs. I believe in affordable health care. I believe that a woman should be in control of her own body. I believe in women's reproductive health. I think those decisions should be made by a woman, her doctor, and her family. I believe in all of these core democratic values that are being threatened by right-wing MAGA extremists. I've been interested in public service ever since that time on the Congressional bus and because of my mother's mental illness. And so I knew I wanted to get into public service during this time. So I was led to run by 2 things that occurred. Just like Joe Biden saying that one of the reasons that he got into the 2020 presidential race was because of the actions of Donald Trump in Charlottesville, Virginia, in regards to the racial unrest. I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene saying something demonstrably false about critical race theory. And I knew that what she was saying was not right because I took a class in critical race theory when I was at the University of Iowa in the law school. And division and derision is being sown using race as a political weapon. And that just made my stomach sink when I saw it. Another event occurred that compelled me to get into the race right now for Michigan's 12th Congressional District. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib posted a video on her X site, which has been since removed.
remember in 2024.
The excerpt that you just saw is a shorter version of the video that was released on Congresswoman Tlaib's X and Twitter page. It's a shortened version to exclude some of the graphic images of what is occurring in the Gaza war. These are the facts. The facts are that on October the 7th, Hamas, a terrorist organization, invaded the sovereign space of Israel, killed hundreds, kidnapped individuals who are now still being held, burned babies, raped women, killed elders, and because of that, Israel responded. Each country has a right to govern and to protect itself from foreign invaders. And Israel has that right. That's abundantly clear that Israel needs to do more for those innocent Palestinians. America and Jordan recently, it's been reported, have started to do food drops into the region because as a global citizen of the world, we sympathize and empathize anytime, anywhere in the world that people are suffering. And it is clear that Palestinians in Gaza are suffering. Since then, Congresswoman Tlaib has called for people not to vote for President Joe Biden in Michigan's presidential primary, where 100,000 uncommitted votes were cast. I respect those people, the action, their activism, and speaking out with their vote. But the problem is that those actions have caused people in the country, in particular in Michigan's 12th Congressional District, not to put their support behind the president. And with the things that I'm concerned about, of protecting vulnerable communities and people with mental health issues, with all of the things that are so important in our country now, it seems that Congresswoman Tlaib has fallen out of touch with the people of Michigan's 12th Congressional District. Let me be clear. I support her right, her First Amendment right, but I do not support her right to have people vote against the Democratic president, the leader of the party, the only person that can protect us from right-wing MAGA extremists and Donald Trump and the things that they want to do to drastically change our country. If Donald Trump and right-wing MAGA Republicans get control of our country, those communities that I love and have worked for the past 20 years will be in jeopardy. And that's the reason why I'm running against Congresswoman Tlaib. I'm sympathetic and empathetic to what is happening in the Gaza Strip. I believe that we should call for a regional ceasefire right now so that Israeli hostages can come out and humanitarian aid can go in. Let me say a few things before I conclude. There has been a lot of discussion about African American people leaving the Democratic Party and not voting for Joe Biden in November. Let's set the record straight. The two most committed Democratic voters in the Democratic Party are African American women and African American men. My name is Royce Kennebrew, and I want to be your Democratic nominee in Michigan's 12th Congressional District. And I'm here without a shadow of a doubt to let you know one thing, that I'm on your side.